Beneath the glittering surface of our oceans lies a world we were never meant to see, a realm where light dies and life takes on forms that shouldn't be possible. As we descend into this vertical universe, crossing the sunlight zone into the midnight zone, the creatures we encounter turn progressively stranger, shaped by a world of shadows, echoes, and scars. In the cold and the dark, life doesn't just survive. It transforms into something that looks like it belongs on another planet. We have sent rovers to Mars and mapped distant galaxies, yet we have explored less than 5% of the deep sea, a place where 6,000 feet below the surface, the rules of biology begin to bend. In this void, we find the jellyfish, a creature that is not just an animal, but a design that broke the rules of everything we think we know about survival. It is a design that evolution seems to have perfected before the first dinosaur ever walked the earth, and it is a design that will likely outlive us all. To understand the jellyfish, you have to understand the sheer scale of deep time. Long before the continents were united into Pangea, and long before the Great Dying cleared the ecological space for dinosaurs to inherit the planet, jellyfish were already drifting through the primeval oceans. While the T-Rex was a late arrival that lived only during the final stretch of the Cretaceous, jellyfish belong to an ancient lineage that has persisted through 5 mass extinctions. They have seen the skies turn into burning clouds of metal and ash, and watched as oceans lifted into walls of vapor during the asteroid strike that ended the age of giants. In the aftermath, when the food chain isn't a chain anymore, and the world beneath the waves becomes as still as the one above, jellyfish do not surrender. They are the ultimate survivors of the extinction, creatures shaped not by strength, but by endurance and patience. They bend, they hide, they wait, but they never stop. Nothing about the jellyfish's biological blueprint is normal. In a world where we define intelligence through centralized nervous systems and central authorities coordinating movement, the jellyfish is an outlier. Unlike the octopus, which possesses hundreds of millions of neurons distributed throughout its arms to create genuine autonomy, the jellyfish has no brain at all. It has no heart to pump blood, no lungs to breathe, and no bones to snap under the 400 atmospheres of force found in the abyss. Yet it is an experimental design that has functioned perfectly for 500 million years. Its body is a masterpiece of biological engineering, optimized for a world of scarcity. While humans and other vertebrates rely on a hierarchical structure, jellyfish operate through a fundamentally different model of perception, responding to the environment through distributed sensation that we can barely conceptualize. In the twilight zone, where the sun's rays are too weak for photosynthesis, jellyfish participate in the Hadal vertical migration, the largest synchronized movement of life on Earth. Each night, billions of these ghosts of the deep climb towards the surface under the cover of darkness to feed, only to sink back into the gloom at dawn. In this layer of the ocean, transparency is the ultimate armor. The deep star jellyfish drifts with a translucent bell that moves in ghost-like ripples, practically invisible to the predators that stalk the blue. Even the octopus, with its camera-type eyes and visual acuity rivaling that of eagles, must use polarized light detection just to see these transparent silhouettes against the faint shimmer of the surface. In the midnight zone, where all sunlight disappears, Jellyfish turn into lanterns in the void, using bioluminescence to lure prey or disappear through counter-illumination. The deeper you go, the more the jellyfish begins to manifest the phenomenon of deep-sea gigantism. In the freezing abyss, where temperatures hover just above freezing and cold water slows time itself, the big red jellyfish, or Tiburonia grandroyo, grows to impossible proportions. With a bell over a meter wide and thick, fleshy arms instead of traditional tentacles, it drifts like a red balloon in the void. This is a giant among jellies, an animal that has swapped the fast-paced life of the surface for a slow growth strategy measured in centuries. Its sheer size is its defense. It is too large for most fish to consume, and its bulk makes it an unappealing meal for the specialized predators of the deep. In a world where every calorie is precious, the big red jellyfish is a titan of the abyss that has mastered the art of evolving a body that can endure the longest famine. The bloody belly cone jelly offers a different, more deceptive survival strategy. In the deep, where red light never penetrates, this creature shines a deep red that appears completely black to any observer. It uses this ultra-black effect to conceal its own stomach, hiding the glow of bioluminescent prey it has recently consumed. This is camouflage by imitation and predation at a chemical level, a sophisticated way to vanish in the faintest light. It is an animal that has invented a secret wavelength to navigate a world defined by the lack of light. This extended cognition allows the jellyfish to perceive and manipulate its environment in ways that our own cognitive architecture isn't adapted to understand. Even in death, the jellyfish remains a planet-level consequence for the ocean's health. Much like a whale fall that creates a city in the dark for 100 years, the sinking of jellyfish to the seafloor provides a dramatic transfer of energy to the abyssal plane. In this desert of silt and silence, where food is a meager ration, a jellyfish fall becomes an oasis for scavengers, sharks, and hagfish. This living memory of the sea ensures that even in the most remote Hadal trenches, life continues to thrive near hydrothermal vents, where the food web is based on chemistry, not photosynthesis. They are the engineers of the deep, helping to build the ocean even as they drift passively through it. We often think of intelligence as something that requires a society, a brain, or a language, but the jellyfish reveals the profound limitations of this framework. It is a mind intelligent in ways we might not recognize as cognition at all. If life can adapt to such extremes here on Earth and reinvent itself to endure the most extreme pressures imaginable, it forces us to question what alien intelligence might actually look like. Perhaps the universe contains minds more similar to these gelatinous blobs than to ourselves, minds that have outlived dinosaurs and persisted through ice ages. The jellyfish didn't break the rules of evolution. It simply demonstrated that the rules we thought existed were actually assumptions based on our own limited history. As we stand beneath the skeleton of a T-Rex or watch a pod of sperm whales floating like gray pillars in the water, we are looking at the accumulated damage of species that tried to dominate their world. But the jellyfish doesn't try to dominate. It simply exists. It is a creature of patience and endurance, optimized for a stable environment that hasn't changed for eons. It is a living fossil that reminds us that evolution doesn't stop, even in the abyssal plains where time itself seems to move differently. While we drain wetlands and collapse ecosystems through our own actions, the jellyfish continues its annual cycle, unfazed by the chaos of the surface world. In the end, the story of the jellyfish is the story of what life looks like in the aftermath of extinction. It is the signature of a world trying again, a stubborn green in the form of a translucent bell. Every time we send a submersible into the scars of the earth, we find them fragile, gelatinous, yet thriving where no other complex life can. They are the survivors of the deep time bottleneck, proof that the line between extinction and renewal is often held by the simplest designs. The jellyfish is not a nightmare or a monster. It is a refuge for the very idea of life itself. It is a mind reaching out to meet ours from the unimaginably deep past, telling us that to survive, you don't need to be the strongest or the smartest, you just need to be the one who can outlast the dark.